Hey everybody, it's your girl Angie. Welcome back to Kiss My Cheeks TV. As you see, I have a special guest, Marc. How you doing today, Marc?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Now I know you have two YouTube channels. Which one is it? Music and mental health is the one that you do the most on?
Yeah, music and mental health is the one that I've built up over the past year. I created one in the last month called Mindful Reality, which is basically just for the reality TV things that I cover.
Okay. So if they want to catch your challenge reviews, they need to go to Mindful Reality.
Yes, correct.
Okay, great. Well, you all check out Marc. He's a part of the Kamisha Reviews crew. And I'm super excited. There's someone in the crew that does the challenge, Survivor, Big Brother. So I'm really excited someone's in the crew that I can talk about these shows with. So welcome.
Thanks for having me.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for the beginning of the Challenge World Championship?
So sometimes they say absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Mm.
And I remember there was a big period of time during the pandemic where we had a huge space between challenge seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, we did not because we
No.
know Ride or Dies just ended. So I'm excited, but I'm not going to say I'm a 10 out of 10 because it's like we're transitioning from one right into a next one. So I'd say like an 8.5.
That's fair. We discussed this last night, and I said I was at a 10 because I am a huge challenge fan and I just love the challenge. But when you said absent makes the heart grow fonder, you are 100% right. Like we just got finished with 38. You threw out Australia, you threw out UK. Like we are a little bit of a challenge overload, but I'm always excited for the beginning of a season. But I feel like I didn't get what I was promised. Like when we had all these spinoffs, I thought we were getting fresh game and this world championship would be only spinoff people. But to see Bananas, Wes, Jordan, all the little alliances, I feel like we're going to get a lot of MTV when I was looking for something fresh. So I'm at a 10, but I feel like very quickly I'm going to slide to a 7.
That's understandable too. I mean, I'm saying 8.5 right now because it hasn't started yet, but
Mhm.
probably when it comes March 8th, I'm going to be up here with you.
Yes. Well, what we're going to do today, you all, is our cast assessment. A lot of you all asked me for this, and I didn't really know how to do this because I haven't watched all of the spinoffs. Like we have not watched Argentina, we have not watched UK, so I didn't really know how to assess it. So what Marc and myself are going to do is we're going to talk about the MTV cast. We're going to show you who they're partnered with and then give you our opinions if we know the person or not. But we're going to focus on the MTV people and we're just going to have a good time talking about what we're preparing to see. I don't want to miss you all in the chat. Hey,
Hey,
Andrew,
Andrew.
Dabu, Zuda. Zuda says, nice to meet you. Zuda is like us. He loves everything competition reality. So we're going to have
Nice
a
to
good
meet you too,
time
Zura.
out here. What we're going to do is I'm going to start with my list. We're going to go from who I think will go home first up into who I think could win. Marc is going to give me his opinion if he agrees or not with my order. I hope he doesn't agree with everything because I like to have a little bit of a debate, a friendly debate. But
I feel like it's impossible for me to agree with everything, but
good,
we'll see.
good. So I pretty much base my opinion off of the MTV cast, the alliances I think that may form in the game based on who I know is on the MTV cast, and based on how I think these people will perform from previous seasons. So at the bottom of my list, unfortunately, I have Kellyanne and Tristan.
Oh no.
I know. The only reason I have Kellyanne at the bottom is because based on everyone else, I don't see an alliance for Kellyanne.
I was wondering if that's where you were going with it. I agree with that 100%. Like in terms of ability, Kellyanne is very solid. She's one of the best physical competitors. But
Mm-hmm.
as we saw in All Stars, she was kind of a lone soldier. Her and what is her name? I forgot who she was aligned with there, but it was only one person. Started with a K.
She hurt herself that season because she's strong too, and she does like yoga.
Kendall, right?
Kendall, yeah,
Yes,
Kendall.
Kendall was like the only
Mhm,
person that she was really aligned with. But other than that, they kind of pushed her to the side. So you're right. Alliances carry you in the game. And I
mhm.
like Kellyanne. That's the reason why I reacted that way. But I wouldn't really put her any different.
Yeah, and this is not necessarily saying she will go home first, but I think she'll be in that first elimination. But I don't know Tristan. I think he's from UK. He looks pretty strong. I heard he's entertaining on the UK. So we'll see, Kellyanne. We'll see. But somebody had to be last. Somebody had to be last.
Mm-hmm.
Up next for a similar reason is Jody, and her partner is Benja. I hope I said that right. Um, I don't see an alliance for Jody either. And I know she's a very strong female competitor. I don't have too much faith in Benja looking at this picture, but all I have on Benja is the picture. What do you think about
Yeah.
Jody?
Yeah, so just so you guys know, I didn't see the other international seasons, so I'm only really commenting on the US and the MTV people. So I feel similarly about Jody. Very strong individual competitor. Obviously, she won one of the seasons individually herself,
Mhm.
but coming back, she has not been strong with the alliance part of it. So she might be someone they throw in. They're willing to just throw in, early.
She could be the first throw in to her or Kellyanne. I could see.
Yep.
But they ask in the chat, did you watch the trailer? I watched the trailer, but I didn't take notes. The trailer looks really good. I see some new daily challenges that I'm excited to see. I did see Kellyanne and Johnny get into an argument, and I feel like that's a week one argument. Like I feel like Johnny is about to throw Kellyanne under the bus week one.
And Janae is popular now.
Yeah,
So if they got into
she's
an
a TikTok.
argument, I see more people being on Janae's side than Kellyanne.
Mhm. Agreed. Sorry, Kellyanne and Jody. Let's see who's next. This one, this one is hard for me. I have Darrell and Kiki.
Guy.
I know this one was hard, but somebody had to be at the bottom of the list. Darrell, I think he's an OG of the challenge. He's an OG. What is he? A three-time winner. He has multiple
Mm-hmm.
wins.
Mm-hmm.
But on the new school version of the challenge, not his older seasons, Darrell isn't competing the way he's not at his prime, if that sounds nice. I don't want to sound mean. I
Mm-hmm.
seen Kiki on Australia. I watched Australia. I enjoy Kiki, but when it comes to female partners, Darrell doesn't have the strongest female partner. So I don't think Darrell will go home early because I think he'll have an alliance to protect him. But I don't see him winning a lot of dailies. Like I don't know. But I'm confused because if we look at this picture, Kiki is on the promo shot though.
She is. Yeah, so my feelings on Darrell is that especially in recent seasons, he's just the ultimate floater. So
Yes.
I always have him kind of middle of the pack. Like I feel like he's not the first one to go out ever. I think that things go on with everybody and he just kind of sits and watches. Hey, as long as this doesn't involve me, I'm
Yes.
just going to chill in the background. And then it kind of gets to like a middle to later stage where they're like, okay, who can we knock off? Darrell is kind of by
Mhm.
himself. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, by the fact that I'm bonded with these people and I'm not really, he's cool with me, he's my friend, but he's not really working with me in the game. That's kind of what I think, like middle of the pack kind of guy.
Yeah, and Darrell, it seems like in the later seasons, he's scared of heights, and I just don't
It's gotten
recall
worse.
that from him. Right, it seems to be getting worse. I'm like, Darrell seems to be scared a lot, quitting a lot, like not doing some daily challenges. So I don't know. Now, if we think about, yes, we're talking about the partners if we know them. Um, Marc only watched USA, so I'm sure once we get to the USA partners, he'll have more to say. I actually watched Australia, so I do know Kiki. Kiki is a winner. She won Australia with Troy, so
Mm.
Kiki's going to give it her all. But if you watched Australia, you know she wasn't the strongest female there. They just happened to get all the strongest females off the show to help them in the final. But I do like Kiki. I think Kiki will be entertaining. I think she has a great personality. But I want to know this. In All Stars 1, Yes and Darrell were, back and forth for the lead of that win. Do you think there will be tension and a pull from Darrell to get Yes out early?
No.
No.
And the reason why I say that is because there's so many heavy hitters in there that even though he won't want Yes in a final, I don't think Yes would be his first, second, or third target to get there. We're talking about a season with Bananas,
Yes.
Wes, and
Mm-hmm. Jordan.
Jordan. So I think that he will be concerned about him. It just won't be his top concern.
I feel like Darrell needs to make an alliance with Yes because Yes, Johnny, like all the All Stars people, they need to have an alliance because the staple MTV show, they're going to have an alliance. Like
Yes.
Jordan, Bananas, Casey, all of them are going to be an alliance. So I feel like if you came from All Stars or if you've been on All Stars, you all need to group together too.
And that would be the smart move because look what happened on Challenge USA with the Big Brother players. Like everybody was excited because Big Brother was taking shots at each other. So all the Love Island and Survivor and all these other people were like, we have this gentleman's agreement or gentle ladies agreement, whatever you want to call it, between us, where we're going to let them take each other out and then we'll go after each other once the numbers dwindle down.
That'd be smart. And Kiki, if you watch Australia, that's what Kiki and them did. I'm not going to say like the love shows were weaker. They seem to be a little bit not as strong. Those Love Bachelor people, Love Island people on Australia, they got all the strong people up and out.
So that's the thing. They recognize their strength is the social game and the fact that they're not regarded as a threat, because when people think of the challenge, they're like, you got to be physically strong. That's true once you get there.
Mm-hmm.
But
You have to get
those people are smart by being like, hey, this person's stronger than me. This one is smarter than me. Take them out. Take them out. And then next thing you know, you see these Love Island people, like these people that didn't do physical competition games, still there. And the strong ones that could beat them getting taken out.
Andrew says he sees Yes and Jordan going at it, and
Could
I can
be.
see that too.
I could see
I can
that
see
too,
that.
honestly, Andrew. Yeah. With their personality types, I could definitely see that.
Suda is saying he thinks the people from All Stars will reconnect with their MTV people to make a dominant alliance. I can see that from Darrell, but I don't see that from Jody, Kellyanne. Yes, it depends. It depends. But one thing I will say before I move on to the next couple is if Kiki is on the promo, Kiki is getting ready to entertain. Just because you're on the promo doesn't mean that you're going to win, but it usually means you're about to entertain us. So I'm excited to see what Kiki and Darrell does this season. Up next, I guess Naya is at number 11, and I love me some Naya. Her partner is Rodri. I don't know him. He's from Australia. Or Argentina.
Okay.
I heard, tell me if you heard something different. On the Argentina spinoff, they didn't speak English. But in order to be on, world championship, you had to at least know English to speak to your partner. Do you think the language barrier could be an issue when a lot of these daily challenges is about communication, coming up with a instant strategy on how to win this daily? Do you think the people who have an Argentina partner are at a slight disadvantage for the language barrier?
100%. 100%. Because even look at Nam. Like, he
Yeah.
spoke decent English, but remember when he was with Lolo? I mean, Lolo's another story,
Yeah,
but
that was another story.
but just in general, being able to speak the same language in these partner challenges is critical, because it like you're gonna have to be communicating with each other and explaining things, and you're gonna be climbing on top of tall structures and trying to figure out puzzles. Like, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard.
Agree. I'm going to be rooting for Naya the entire time. I know if
Me
she
too.
gets an elimination, she's going to beast it out. I think Naya can beat majority of these women on this cast. But the last time we saw Naya was on All Stars 3.
Hmm.
She wasn't in the best mental
Mental
state.
state. Yep.
I don't know what was going on with her personally. I pray for her and I wish her the best. I'm wondering, is she in that same mental space here where she is going to have to rely on Jordan, and then Jordan's going to have to worry about Tori in her mental space? Like, I feel
So
like that's a lot
and
of drama.
that's a very legitimate question, and I'm glad you asked that exact thing, because I got a cameo from Nia where I asked her that same question that you just said.
Mm.
And she basically said that going into All Stars 3, she had no intent to go on that show. And Jordan pretty much talked her into it.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why she said she didn't have her own reason and purpose for going on the show. And that's why she was so clingy with him. Like, he's my
Mhm.
sole reason for being here. So she was like, it was a wake up call for her. And after that, when she went home and did some soul searching, she was like, I never want my reason to do one of these things to be attached to a person again. So I think that this time when she comes on, she's gonna have more of her own sense of purpose, and she's gonna be better prepared, trained, and hopefully more mentally ready.
I hope so too. To the people in the chat, I am pinning your chats if they relate to people that are a little bit higher on the list. I will come back to your points and questions. I just don't want to jump too far ahead from the people we're discussing. But quick question, a little bit of a messy question. Tori is here. Do you think Tori is going to demand loyalty from Jordan? Like, I demand you throw vote for Naya or something like that. Or do you think Tori, Naya, and Jordan could possibly all work together?
So this is my opinion on Tori. I think Tori very much cares what the fans think of whatever she does. So because of that, I think that she watched this past season and saw how it looked and doesn't want to
Mm-hmm.
look that way again. So I'm more prone to think that she would rather work with Naya and Jordan versus being like, you got to choose me or her type of thing.
Okay. But we have to remember this was shot way before they started showing 38. So she didn't really
That's
watch
a
it yet.
good
She
point.
might change her
That's a
behavior
good.
for 39, but we don't know how
No,
she
you
plays
make it. That's
here.
Oh yeah, and the other thing is, it's one thing for me to say that in theory versus her being
Yes.
in the house with somebody that he actually just recently hooked up with on TV, and who knows how Naya is gonna be? She might be like, "F Tori," you know, leave her
I
alone. Like,
hope
don't
so.
listen.
don't know if you're a Tori fan or not, but I would like Naya to be like F Tori and try to get her out. But I'm not a Tori fan. But you all will see as we go up the list. Tori is partnered with Danny, and I'm a huge Danny fan. So it's like I kind of have to be a Tori fan for the world championship. But we'll get into
I'm a
that.
huge Nia fan, so that overrides almost everything.
You're a who fan?
I said I'm a huge Nia fan. Like, there's almost
Yeah,
nobody that I would want to see beat her. I wouldn't want to see anyone beat her. Let's say that.
I wouldn't either. And I feel, is it Nia or Naya?
Is it Naya?
I think it's Naya.
Naya, okay.
Naya is someone who I was extremely happy to see back in the challenge on the show. I think she's an elimination beast. I think sometimes she could get frazzled in a daily, but she has the ability to win dailies too. I hope your partner is good. He looks built. He looks like he can have your back. I just think the language thing
No.
is a advantage.
Yeah, I mean, he could probably handle challenges pretty good. So hopefully, like you said, the language barrier, they can get over that.
Do we know this season if they're going to do the algorithm and change partners, or
The
is it
perfect
partners for
algorithm.
partners? Hmm?
The perfect algorithm. Something else I was thinking about though, as you were talking about the language,
Mm-hmm.
is naturally the people that speak the same language, that come from the same show, that know each other from that show, even if they didn't get along on that show, I think just the fact that they speak the same language and they're comfortable talking to each other, they
Mm-hmm.
might be aligned in this because of that.
Yeah, so we have Benja, Rodri, and I think Nelson's partner is from Argentina. So I have a lot of things to say about Nelson when we get to him. So let's see but before we get to the next person, Dabu, I agree with this comment 100%. I think because Devin isn't there and a lot of her other vacation crew isn't there, she's going to demand a lot from Jordan. Tori will, I believe. But we shall see. Up next, number 10. And number 10, I feel, is equal to number 11, is Janae and Grant. Um, I don't want to be shady. Forgive me. But Janae is a two-time champ. Janae is a two-time champ, and that first championship was questionable, but Janae won that second one fair and square, and for that, I give her all of her props. But when it comes to the staple show, the MTV cast, Janae might still be looked at as a layup. Like, I just don't think Janae is stronger than Amber, Casey, Sarah, really Jody. Like, I just don't. Janae's ability to maneuver through the game of All Stars is top tier. Can Janae do the same thing that she does on All Stars with everybody else from the flagship show of MTV? What do you think?
Well, you make a good point there, because the All Stars crew was a lot of people that came back from like
Mm-hmm.
early 2000s. So honestly, Janae was one of the younger people there by far. You know, we
Yes.
had people in their 50s competing, people in their mid 40s or whatever. I always thought about that. There's such a wide range for All Stars. It's a shorter game. It's like they're
Mm-hmm.
not there as long. Uh, I mean, I think it's just as hard in terms of dailies and finals, but just overall, it's an easier game. The competitors were not the same on the seasons that she was on, especially on the female side, because her second win, the male side was real stacked. The
Yes.
female side, not as much.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right. I think this would be her toughest challenge out of any of those three, the two that she won. And I think she might have a little bit of a harder time with their personalities and with their games and some of the stronger females that she's going to have to go against.
Agreed. And I think a lot of these ladies, when I look at my paper and I look at the cast, they might consider Janae the layup because she still is tiny. Like she's still a tiny lady. And they might be like, oh, we'll throw her in because I could beat Janae. Not saying that's a given because she's a fighter and she's strong. I just don't think she has the same footing in this game as she would on an All Stars cast.
And you know what else? She's a two-time champ now. When she first came in the All Stars, it was like, oh, cool, Janae's here. We love her. You know, she's a nice person and she's cool or whatever. But now they're like, wait, Janae is a two-time champ. So we want one of us to win now. That's what happens to multiple champions.
That is another thing. Once you become a two-time champion, you have that money. People can be like, well, I want some money too. So go away, Johnny. But I can't wait to see what she does. I want to say this, just in general. The All-Stars finals to me are harder than anything we've seen on MTV in the past 2 or 3 seasons. Those finals are very puzzle heavy, very start, take a break. That 100-hour final was a joke. I don't even think they ran that final for maybe 20 hours. So I will give Janae credit there. I feel like she competed in much harder finals than what Tori competed in. So good luck, Janae. Some people gotta be they gotta fall somewhere on the list. Okay.
Yeah.
Up next, we're at number 9. I have Yes and Emily. The only reason I have Yes closer to the bottom of the list is because Yes comes from All Stars. I don't see his footing in the game. I don't see an immediate alliance for him. And he's also a winner. They might want to get him out. His partner is strong. Emily is an Olympian. You didn't watch Australia. She's a gold medalist in the Olympics. Not crazy like Lolo, but still a very strong woman. I feel like this is a good team, but I feel like because Yes doesn't have a great footing in the game, they would be a strong team that would be thrown in first.
I agree with that. And I've heard those things about her, even though I haven't seen her season or anything. When Yes got on All Stars in the first place, that's what he always stood on. He was like, I don't have any recent relationships with most of you. I don't have any alliances. I just want to come in this game straight up and just make my my friendships or partnerships, whatever, based on what I do week to week. And that worked for that group. If I'm not mistaken, that was the first All Stars, right? That he won?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the first All Stars. It was experimental at that point. It had just been made. Everyone was just kind of happy to be there. Like, oh, we're back on TV. I can't. It was euphoric. You know, they were having fun and partying and all that stuff. I haven't seen enough of Yes in the cutthroat MTV type of game.
I think Yes has it in him. Yes has it in him. I think he could be cutthroat. Remember, he went on All Stars 1, went into the final and never went into elimination. And he was able to smooth talk his way out of not ever being into any elimination that season. I think Yes has it in him, but who does he have it with? Like, Darrell is either going to work with him or not. And I feel like if Darrell ices him out, Yes is going in early. Now, somebody put some tea in the chat. Do you want to hear the tea?
Sure.
They say in the trailer. Now, you all be breaking these super trailers down. I did not notice this, but they said in the super trailer it was Emily and KC in a hall brawl. Look, I want to see that. I've been waiting to see KC in a hall brawl.
I would like to see that as well.
To KC, I still might give that to KC, but Emily is she They said it right here. Emily is built like
He
Laurel.
looks like Laurel in the
Yes,
picture. That's the first thing
very
I was
strong,
thinking.
very very strong. I want to see that. I want to see Emily versus Casey on Olympic Laurel. Okay.
Yeah, Wes had the beef with what with Yes. Remember that? That was funny.
West had beef with in
Yes,
All Stars 3. Was it All
yes,
Stars 3?
yes. All
You
Stars
know what?
3.
That's gonna drive me crazy. I need one of them to go home because that's a tongue twister having to flip back from yes to West. I'm gonna have their names
And they
confused.
ended up going against each other in an limb, and Wes took out Yes.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't really see it for them, but good luck. Oh wait, I went backwards. Okay.
Yeah.
Up next, hey, it's Wes and Zara.
Ironically,
I don't know Zara, so I can't speak on her strength, but I love Wes. Wes is one of my favorite challengers. Wes, to me, Wes comes to every season he's on fresh. Yes, he does call people in pregame and all of that, but I feel like when Wes actually gets there and sees the layout of people there, he's going to decide then how he's maneuvering through the game. Is he going to stick with his pregame? Is he going to gather up all the rookies? Is he going to cut your throat early? Is he going to cut it later? I love the way Wes thinks about the strategy and just doesn't say, "Oh, all my vacation friends are here. We're working together." Like Wes gives me new strategy every season. I can't wait to see his strategy this season. Some people earlier in the chat said, "Do you think Wes and Bananas are together or rivals? Like, are they going to help each other or are they going to be against each other?" That's the big question.
yes. Yeah, so I'll say Wes is actually my favorite challenger ever because especially because in the early years of the challenge, I remember when the groups were forming.
Mm-hmm.
Bananas, Kenny, Evan, like all these guys were like, we're just gonna work together and take out everyone else. And he was the one guy who was like, I don't want to do that. I want to kind of forge my own way in the game and pick you guys off with a group that I'm going to form when I get here. So for that reason, I give him somewhat of an advantage over some of these other, especially over the floaters, like a Darrell or a Yes, let's say, because
Mm-hmm.
even though in a way they're all in the same boat, Wes is the most adaptable.
Yes.
The
Yes,
guy
he
that could
is.
just jump on there. You don't know what these global rules are going to be. You don't know what TJ is going to say. He's the guy, like you said, who's analyzing everything. What are the rules? What are the partnerships? Do I need to talk to some of these international people and get some of them on my side? And, I'm very
I
excited to see how he maneuvers.
I
And
can see
in
Wes
terms,
doing that, especially since he has an international partner. Like he's not. Is she from the UK? He's not about to throw the UK people to the side.
in terms of the bananas question, it's a tough one because I think they both are going to do whatever is most advantageous to them at the time. And they might feel like last time was under the radar, but if we go in like, hey, we're buddy buddy and we're partners, obviously, then people are going to be like, hey, let's get them out.
Yeah. And with Bananas and West, you can never tell because the shade they throw at each other is so funny. Like they crack me up when they're shading each other that you never know if the other person's feelings are hurt or if it's like, yeah, I got you. I'm going to shade you back tomorrow. Like their banter is
Yeah.
so entertaining. You never know if it's real or not. So I
Yes.
think they'll keep the cast on their toes. But I'm hoping they at least work together mid and then try to shoot shots at each other later. I want to see. I don't want to see Wes or Bananas go home early.
Early. Yeah, me neither. Agreed.
Okay, but they say his partner is a body type similar to Amber B. So Amber
Mm.
B is good, but I don't know. Does she have the endurance of Amber B? Well, I don't know. I'm excited to see some of these spin-off people. I only know it's
Yes.
Australia. Up next is Jordan and Kaz. The only reason Jordan's at number 7, which on a cast of 14, he's in the middle. He's in the middle of my list. The only reason Jordan is in the middle of my list is because I don't know Kaz. I don't know how Kaz performs. Someone really early in the chat had to be shady and said, at least it's not Anissa. But hey, I think she will perform better than Anissa. Um, you can't count Jordan out because look at what he
No.
did with Anissa. No shade, Anissa, but you know you ain't the best in the finals, girl. But look what he did with Anissa. So if he can motivate Anissa, I know he can motivate her.
Yeah, I pretty much think the same thing. Because I said Jordan with even like a half decent partner who, maybe they have some cardio and they're able to run with him somewhat, would do damage because Jordan does triathlons. Jordan, you look at him in certain challenges and you're like, what is he even going to do in this challenge? And then you see him take out Josh in that challenge where he had to swing the rope. And it's like certain things that you think he has no business winning. He has some kind of weird strategy to it that makes him able to do it
Yeah.
even with his handicap. Like you don't even see him as somebody with a handicap at this point.
Dan in the comments let us know that this was his first pick, and Kaz does. Is it Mai Tai? I'm assuming that's some kind of martial arts. Um, Look, now that I think about it, Jordan could win this thing because, like you said, he has the strategy to maneuver through anything, and with a semi decent partner, he could win this. Now, I do want to point this out. Remember last season, 38, it was Nelson on the promo, Bananas and Nani on the promo. I don't believe Tori and Devin were on that promo. So maybe we shouldn't read too much in the promo picture because Nelson and Norris were the face of 38. Like they
Mm-hmm.
had the biggest picture. So I think just because you aren't on the promo doesn't mean we can count you out of the game. So
True.
I had you at number 7, Jordan, but the chat is kind of making me feel like you could run away with this, but I still have a few favorites. I probably still won't put you at number 1, but I probably could have shot you up a little bit higher based on what a few people are saying in the chat. Now, via Instagram, we saw Bananas and Jordan on some kind of ski vacation. They were snowboarding and they had their
Mm-hmm.
asses out and they were having a good time in the snow.
Yeah.
Does that mean we might see Jordan and Bananas work together?
It's possible, man. It's possible. I feel like a lot of these old rivals, they've known each other for so long, and they're kind of like, at this point, people expect us to be against each other. So let's just kind of be together on the low, not necessarily let everyone know that we're hard body for each other. But then when it comes time towards the end of the game, we start knocking other people off.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the chat have their money on them. I guess this is my disadvantage for not watching UK. I only watched episode
Me
1 of
too.
UK, and I was like, no, nah, I don't want to watch it. Ooh, drama. Cass is Theo's ex. Oh, so it's gonna be all kind of drama on the
I
show.
forgot you haven't dropped Theo yet. I'm interested to know why he's so high.
Oh, I could be. People in the chat know me. I have my fave. Some people could get marked higher just because I like you a lot.
I understand.
Um,
I get it. I get it.
but the chat, y'all have shamed me. I think Jordan would be higher now that you all telling me all this about Cass, and
Cass is a
somebody
UK
has to be
champ.
set.
Ooh,
Up
okay.
next at number 6 is Nelson in. Okay, is it Jujai? If I butchered her name, I'm sorry. I will learn how to say it once TJ says it on Wednesday. And can I say that you didn't watch Australia? The lady who hosted Australia, A plus 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 on hosting. I really loved her as a host. And if TJ ever needs a little break, please let her fill in. She was an amazing host on Australia. But okay, Nelson and his partner. I don't know anything about Miss Jujai, but I will say this. Nelson could have won Challenge 38 if he would have made better strategic moves. Him and Norris were winning daily challenges left and right. If Jujai is just equal to Norris, Nelson can win many daily challenges. I just don't have faith that Nelson is going to make the right strategic moves because he was all on the reunion about integrity and friendship, and it's not going to win you the game, Nelson. You don't have Corey there, who I feel like Corey is the mastermind strategically of the alliance. You don't even have Fessy there. Um, and then you also have a partner that could have a language barrier. So I have Nelson high middle because I feel like he will perform well. I just don't know if he's going to strategically do well. What do you think about Nelson?
I'm gonna be honest. I like Nelson as a person. Think he's a great guy, nice guy. I don't think he's ever gonna win the challenge. I personally would not have had him as high, and I feel like when he gets there and sees all these new women from all these all these different shows and countries, he's gonna be like, Nelly, Nelly's got to go around and do his love thing and find himself a boo thing. I agree with what you're saying though, in terms of him being good at dailies. Look at he was running, he was winning things that involve puzzles even. He did good on trivia. Like he was actually very good. But I feel like he will always get to that critical point with decision making. Because this last one, he said he was trying. You heard him say that, like, I'm trying to be different this season. I want to be more focused and I want to make good decisions. And he thought real hard about the decisions he was making and still made the wrong one. So I have a tough time with picking Nelly. I'd have him a little lower. I'd have him lower than Jordan.
Yeah, now that I know this about, so I'm happy I know her English name is Sophia, because I have a feeling I'm saying her other name wrong. They said Sophia got eliminated early on Argentina, but because she spoke English, she got the call back. So that's telling me
Wow.
he doesn't have a Norris as a partner. So I probably should put Nelson a lot lower.
But I'm glad he's there. It's gonna be fun. He's always entertaining.
Yes. So Nelson could go home first. I don't know, because he doesn't have. I don't see a friend. I don't see a friend of Nelson. Nelson doesn't have a friend in this game.
Usual crew, right? Yeah.
No one. No one else really cares about him. Like, at least Fessy would have had his back a little bit
Yes.
until Fessy couldn't have his back anymore. But I don't think KC cares about Nelson.
No, I haven't specifically seen them have any kind of partnership or relationship.
Okay, well, sorry, Nelson. It looks like you're sliding down the list. Up next, we're getting closer to the top. At number 5, I have Amber B and Troy. I really like Amber B. She's a great partner. And Troy, you didn't watch UK. He's a Ninja Warrior. He reminds me of a Jordan because he's tiny. He's not, a built buff guy. But because he has that Ninja Warrior background, all those swinging challenges, climbing, endurance for running, Troy is up there with like Jordan. So I have really high hopes for him here. He won UK with Kiki. Amber B can keep up. Like, if she have a strong male lead, she can keep up. So I have them at 5. I think they're going to do really good. But I did hear T that Tori told everyone as soon as they got in the house not to trust Amber B. Like, I don't know why Tori doesn't like Amber
Here
B,
we go again.
but I heard that Tori told everyone Amber B can't be trusted. So Amber B might slide down the list. I don't know.
You watch Big Brother, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it almost reminds Amber B on the challenge almost reminds me of like a Taylor situation because it seems like immediately when she walked into the first house that she ever did for the challenge, it was like, don't trust Amber B, she's shady. And I'm like, I haven't really seen anything from her that looks any shadier than anyone else on the show. So I think they were just feeling some kind of weird jealousy towards her, and
It's
it
jealousy.
it
Tori is
just
jealous that Amber B became a champion on her first season and it took her 7.
yeah.
And you don't want me to get started on how Tori and Devin won Challenge 38. I'm not gonna go there. Everybody on my channel knows how I feel about it, but they're jealous of Amber B because this lady hasn't done anything to anyone. And I feel like she's getting the same Big Brother shake. Like she
Yeah.
was voted off of Big Brother because she didn't want to date a man. She didn't want
Yep.
to pay him attention. And
Yep.
so now she comes over here, she proves herself. So what? She had CT as a partner. She won her season, and now you're jealous of her all over again.
And then it was like weird to me that her Big Brother alumni turned on her too.
The main ones.
Yeah.
They were the main ones, but they embrace her every season because they want her vote in the beginning. Like I want you to vote with us, Amber. But as soon as it's time for, oh, we don't need your vote anymore, she
She
can't be.
recognized like I'm on the fringe of your group for the
Yeah.
vote. So because of that, I'm not trying to just be like, oh, I'm blindly loyal to y'all anymore.
Now, this was an iconic moment. On Challenge Australia, he was in a pole wrestle with a big buff guy. And the big buff guy, was doing the body. He body slammed Troy. So you remember how Kyle was body slamming? I forgot who he was. But you know how in the pole wrestle, you kind of pick people up and slam them into the ground, hoping they'll let go.
Yeah.
This guy right here won the pole wrestle because he's a ninja warrior, so he has grip strength, and he just was able to tire the other person out and do wrestling moves to get them to let go of the pole. Like he is one to watch this season. He's going to be one to watch.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested. Y'all are making me interested in checking out Challenge Australia.
It's only 10 episodes, and I promise you it's a good watch. You will be entertained. You will be entertained. I hope Amber B didn't get pregnant. I know she's pregnant now, but I'm hoping she found out she was pregnant after this was filmed. Like, I hope she doesn't leave the game because of pregnancy, because I really want to see her and Troy this season. So
That
I hope
happened with Casey in I think the last All Stars. Not this case, not Big Brother Casey, the
I know
blonde
I'm trying to
Casey.
think which Casey on All Stars.
She was partners with Wes in her
Oh,
first season.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. And it happened to Natalie Anderson, and I love Natalie Anderson from Survivor.
Okay.
At number 4, I have Tori and
That
Danny.
is a strong partnership right there.
This is an extremely strong partnership. Half of the partnership, I want off of my television screen. But Tori, I will be rooting for you on the World Championships because you're partners with Danny. And I saw in the trailer you were talking mad stuff about, I wish I wouldn't have picked you as a partner. You wouldn't have picked me. Girl, be quiet before you get Kiki on Twitter. You don't want Kiki to come out. Leave this man alone. You have an extremely strong partner.
Hold up. You said that on Twitter she said she wishes she hadn't picked him.
he hadn't picked her because
She
the
wishes that he
spinoff
hadn't
show.
picked her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she said that on the super trailer. In the super trailer, she says it.
Is she high? I don't understand. Like that final that he won. Wow. I was so impressed with the guy.
He won the final, went into the little bungalow, changed clothes, took a nap, ate lunch, all before they figured out who the female winner would be. Like, I went too fast. Danny is, I'm showing my list before I get there. Danny is an extremely, if Danny makes it to the final, I think he wins because he's smart. He was the only one to figure out that Sudoku.
Yes, he's the only one.
Because
He's smart. He's
I bet
strong.
money production told Amber what numbers to put in, not Amber, but Sarah what numbers to put in what row. Like, I don't think Sarah really sat there and did that Sudoku. You know. So Danny is good. And Tori, you need somebody smart because you're not that bright. Sorry for being
Agreed.
mean. I'm trying to be on my best behavior because I have company. You know how your mom be like, don't cut up when company come over. Ooh, that's a good one. Bring Troy to the main challenge. I really like Troy. He's really good. But Danny should have been with Naya or Amber B.
That would be unfair.
I'm assuming episode 1, we're going to see whatever competition goes down where they get to see who picks first, second, third, fourth. I feel like Danny had to be high up on the list to get Tori. Because, I mean, personality or not, Tori is a strong female. Like, she's not a
If she
Leia.
has somebody on her team that can do the brain work, because as soon as I saw that she was partnered with Devin, I actually was one of the people that was like, this is a strong team because she can handle the physical parts. And if he's doing all the puzzles and telling her where things go, you got a strong partnership right there.
That's
and I
my
didn't know
point.
whether Danny was going to be smart, puzzles, strategic, whatever, but we saw that. We saw that he is. So he's stronger than Devin physically. And
Right.
I don't know if he
come up.
She got a great partner.
This has nothing to do with the list. And this is probably a shady question, and you don't have to answer it. I'm a little bit shady over here on Kiss My Cheeks TV. If Devin was on the world championship as the recent champ of the MTV show, what order do you think a global female would pick him?
Out of who's there?
Yeah.
To be like, honestly, I don't think he'd be the top pick still. Even if he just came off of that win, I still think they're taking Danny. I still think they're taking Bananas, Wes, Jordan. I would say he would be like a middle of the pack pick.
You're extremely nice. I said he would be picked last. I say your most recent champion would come over here and be picked last. That's why he didn't show up. But hey, we'll see. Now, people are putting stuff in the tea in the chat. They're saying Jenny from UK is, and if Amber does get pregnant this season, she might replace her. I haven't heard anything. I feel like someone would have spoiled that by now if Jenny comes into the game and replaces Amber B. But let me tell you something. Who got Amber as a partner? If Jenny came in with Troy, they win in this thing. Jenny is one of the strongest females I've seen on this show. I don't know why she hasn't come back to the show. Definitely put KC in her place. I don't know, but I agree, Andrew. Devin would be the last person picked. But let's move on. I'm not going to be shady on Devin. Up next at number 3, I have Bananas and Justine.
So it's not that I was being nice. The only reason I wouldn't put him last is because I feel like if those international players have done one season of a challenge, I feel like they're not more of an advantage, even if they're physically stronger or even if they're good at puzzles. I just feel like the experience factor is why I would place them above some of them.
But no, the international people are picking MTV. So if it's like between bananas, so it's only the MTV people that are getting picked.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay.
Like,
So where would they be picking the MTV people?
mhm.
Okay. I think I agree with you then in that case. I didn't realize that.
Bananas and Justine are next. I kind of had them equal to Danny and Tori. In your opinion, season 38 didn't show Bananas at his top potential. It kind of looked like
No,
Bananas is starting to go down, like he's not
big time.
still here. So that's the only reason I don't have Bananas at like 1 or 2. Like, I still think he's the face of the show. People like to see him on the show, but I don't think he's as scary as he used to be. But Justine is 10 times better than Nani. He has a very, like, 100 times better partner. So,
I'm so happy Justine is coming back. I
yes.
felt like I felt so bad for her when we got into this final and she was with Enzo and he was flailing around in the water and he
No,
was like,
no, that was Desi.
"Oh, that was Desi."
Yeah.
Justine.
Justine left because she couldn't figure out the Sudoku. Like, a lot of people,
Oh, that's right.
so she got cold and
Desi went
couldn't
out
figure out.
first and she
Yeah.
made it to the Sudoku and then they gathered around. Yes,
Mhm.
that's right. Yeah, I agree. She's a much stronger partner than Nanny. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of chemistry they'll have as partners. But in terms of how strong she is, and obviously he's a 7-time champ, I understand that rank.
I think they'll make it to the final. Justine is really strong. She's really smart. Where Bananas and Nani were lacking in that puzzle area, Justine can pick that up for Bananas. I don't know. It's just
Desi,
a
yeah. I
small
wish Desi had come back.
part of me. I feel like Bananas wasn't giving his best on 38. Like, a part of me feels like Bananas is about to come over here and turn it up. I don't feel like he was doing his best because he really kind of sucked on 38. But
Agreed.
we'll see. We'll see. Um, Number 2, Casey and Ben. I'm happy Ben is getting another shot because of his shoulder injury. He couldn't do the final for USA. Ben isn't one of my favorite Survivor people. I'll say that. On the Challenge USA, I kind of liked Ben again. I was like, okay, he has an extremely boring partner. I really don't see them getting a lot of camera time because Ben isn't like a personality. He's an older guy. He's not about to get into the drama. But I think when it comes to Challenge Day, Casey and Ben are going to turn up. On my piece of paper, Casey is the strongest female out there for me. So I think when it
Uh,
comes Challenge Day, they're going to win a lot of dailies.
I agree, and from what I've heard, Ben comes with a lot. He's like a strong personality. He gets angry. His emotions kind of go all over the place. And who's the perfect person for somebody like that? Casey. Because
Mm-hmm.
Casey, every season comes on and she's dealing with her fiance.
Josh,
She's dealing
Fessy,
with Josh, Fest, yeah,
Andy.
all people that are always all up in the drama. And as much as everyone says she's boring, and I agree with that, honestly, who do you always see in the middle of all these things? Like, calm down, calm down. We're all friends here. Let's not fight in front of everybody. Like, she's that person who's like, let's just calm down and focus on this money and focus on this win. So in terms of her strength as an individual, like you said, top female, Ben is a very strong competitor, as we saw. So I agree with having them this high. I get they're a threat. They're a big threat to win. And the
I
other
think
thing,
so too.
and the other thing is, let's not forget, like, Casey is friends with everybody.
She
We
is.
we don't think about that, but when it comes time for eliminations, you don't see people are like, let's get Casey out. Even though she's so strong, they're not like, let's get Casey out. Whereas when Jenny was on there, everyone was like, oh my God, we better get Jenny out because how can we take her out otherwise?
I agree. Dabu, I want to know what poster you're talking about. It must be a cast poster. If Jenny and Brad are coming on the show, who is Brad coming in for? Like, I don't
The Brad
know.
that we know,
Yeah,
the
Brad
big
from
beard
All Star.
Brad.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what poster it is. I will admit I have not done my world championship research the way I research other challenges because like you said, I was kind of in challenge overload and I'm like, I'm gonna watch it, but I don't really care. So I haven't seen the poster that you all are talking about. And I'm a little behind on my gossip, my challenge gossip. But at number one, of course, is Theo and Sarah. I'm a huge Theo fan. I'm so happy he's finally cleared because I know he had an eye injury. I'm happy he's cleared to come back. We aren't gonna forget that Theo ran the hardest final to me in challenge history and came in second, only second to Turbo. That is strength right there. Theo is also an Olympic athlete. I don't know if he has a gold, but I know he's an Olympic runner. So he has the endurance, he has the strength. He he's smart. He might maybe he can talk to Naya. I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit of Theo and Naya. Sarah Lucina, whatever you have to say about her, she's one of my favorite Survivor players because she's entertaining. I don't care about Sarah's at home life. Don't tell me what politician that she votes for. I'm just talking about on my TV screen. I think Sarah is a strong player. I think Sarah didn't have her foot in the game of USA because it was the Tyson Angela show. Like Sarah got kind of beat by the algorithm by having bad partners on bad dailies. And then Sarah, she's mouthy. She rubbed people the wrong way. Sarah's going to entertain us on here, and I feel like her and Theo will be a partnership that'll be very hard to beat.
I agree. I don't like Sarah. I'm not a fan of Sarah. However, her strength as a competitor is undeniable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when Theo was on the show, I wasn't a huge fan of Theo either, but I have to admit it was just mainly because he was coming at my guy Wes. And and the thing is, all those UK people at that time, I was like, they're infiltrating my show, so I don't like them. But just like I was telling you,
Yes.
and he was dominating. He was
Mm-hmm.
dominating dailies, and he was just like, I'm better than all you guys and beating them at everything. So I was like, oh, I don't like this guy. He's threatening all my vets that I like. But just like I was telling you, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I've
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to see him get back, and I've seen him continually posting. I'm trying to get back on the show, but the MTV considers me a liability because of my eye. And so I'm very excited that he's back, even though he's with Sarah. But I agree with you that they're going to be a tough team to ever take out of anything.
I agree. Dabu says in the chat, Sarah's mouth is going to get them put into many eliminations. I think they win every last
And
one of
they'll
them.
win. That's what I'm saying. It could get them in many eliminations, but good luck taking them out.
Yes. This is still my winner pick. This is my winner pick. I feel like fingers crossed. I don't want to see a million puzzles. I want this to be old school challenge where it's really more physical and then we sprinkle in a puzzle. Like you all let Devin and Tori win. Can we throw the puzzles in the trash now? because I want to get back to the challenge being the fifth sport. I want to see people run. I want people to show me why this is a physical show. Theo is also smart, so he can handle the puzzles. Sarah, not so much. Sarah just
Oh
has
Lord,
thick skin. That's what it is with Sarah. She didn't get frostbite. She had thick enough skin. Because how long was Sarah at that first puzzle on
a
USA?
long time.
Everybody had quit the final, and she was still on that first puzzle.
The first puzzle. Yep.
And I'm telling you, Sarah, I'm giving you a pass, but everything in me says, look, everybody has quit. Here go the answers, Sarah. Just make it up the mountain. Here's the answers. Put it together. Because
The
you have to
cast
have a female winner.
the cast feels like that happened. I feel like that happened. The challenge doesn't want us to see how she got from one to the other. So
Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know, Dabu. I'm not trying to break up no happy families. Theo
you gotta
has a
leave the
girlfriend
baby.
and a baby. So leave Naya alone. We'll leave Naya alone.
Yes.
Okay.
Leave my Naya alone. She's mine.
Now I can't remember because my challenge brain isn't. I forget a lot. When he was on War of the Worlds, did he have beef with anyone that's on the current cast, like Bananas, Jordan,
Beef.
West? Like,
I
because
can't make
he
that.
was
I
on the
want to know that
season
too.
with Bears, so he had to kind of back Bear up. The drama with Georgia, Jenny. Those War of the World seasons are my favorites. Like, I love those, and I love Fresh Meat.
Those were
But
amazing.
I'm trying to see, did he get into it with Jordan or West or Bananas, where if they see Theo, will they be like, oh, he has to go first? Or because they really don't. When I look at the paper, Theo and Sarah don't have an alliance in sight, except for Theo could align with the UK people, even though he's coming from MTV.
I'm feeling like even if they did have some kind of thing with him back then, I feel like so much time has gone by that it's not really going to be fresh in their mind. Like, we got to
Yeah.
get rid of Theo. However, Theo is still one of the best athletes. So I think just on that, him being so good at the game itself, they're like, I don't necessarily want to run a final with this man in the final. So I think he could be a threat just for that.
Dabu put
Tori.
in the chat that his final is Tori Danny, Jordan Cass, Theo Sarah. And I kind of agree with that.
Based on what I'm hearing of Kaz, from what you guys are saying about Kaz, I could definitely see them being in that final. I didn't know about her, but
Yeah, I'm gonna move Jordan up my list. I can definitely see Jordan being there. And if we're just gonna add a fourth, because it's usually 8 in a final, I'm gonna put Casey and Ben there too.
oh, Andrew said they got into it with Polly. Who did Polly not get into it with?
Look, I love me some Polly. I
I
love
actually
me
like
when
Polly.
Cara is opening the door for her to come back to MTV. I hope she can bring her man with her because I love Polly too.
I love
I'm
Cara.
ready for a change. I'm really ready for a change on the MTV show. It's too many of the same. And
Clicky.
did you hear?
It's too clicky. Like the clicks that they keep bringing back, the Big Brother click and this click and that click. It's like you're gonna do the same thing every season.
Oh, okay. My chat is my memory because I forget everything. Theo was against Kara's cult. I don't like to call Kara's crew a cult because they didn't call the other group the Unholy Trinity. So I'm not gonna call Kara a cult, but and plus Kara's crew came with Leroy, Cam, and you know how I feel about Leroy and Cam. But Theo was against them. So Theo is cool with Jordan and
What's
everybody
funny
else.
about Kara's cult is that they were like formed by Wes, and then Wes got out. And
Mm-hmm.
then Polly basically took the
Look at
credit. It's like, yeah, this is my crew, but it's like y'all were working together this whole time, but Wes was the bigger target than you. So then it's like now Wes is out. Yeah, I pulled all the puppet strings.
I just want to see a change on the main show. Like you said, it's a clique, it's a vacation alliance. I don't mind you like here. Casey is here by herself. I would love to see like if you want to bring some of the vacation people back, maybe Fessy can sit down and give Josh a turn to come back. I don't know.
Hmm.
I
I'm
think
not a Josh
everyone's
fan.
in the final. And yes, I'm super excited for All Stars 4. Like, I can't wait for All Stars
Me too.
4 to start.
Same here. Same here.
I'm assuming we have to get through all of this world championship stuff and then we'll see All Stars 4. But
We
I
don't have a
cannot.
drought now. Remember when we had to go, what was it, 6 months, 8 months, or whatever? No challenge at all. We're trying to rewatch old seasons and figure out things to do with our lives.
They aren't going to have a drought because I have a feeling. Well, they're already saying on Twitter that they're working on the cast for USA too, so they're getting ready to
Now
start
they're
all this
just like
stuff.
bang, 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 back to back to back to back.
Like, we have Survivor 44, and then this summer will be Big Brother. So they're probably getting ready to get USA ready for when Big Brother goes off. So they aren't going to give us a drought though.
Mm-mm.
I don't mind a break because when Big Brother is on, it takes over. Big Brother takes over.
I learned that last season. I was like, I'm so invested in the show. It's crazy.
Okay, I forgot. The chat is reminding me there's exes on here. So will Kaz and Theo work together or will they throw each under the bus?
Kaz is from the UK.
Yes, that's Theo's ex.
Mm, interesting.
So I don't everyone wants to see I'll be Maria. I don't want to see her. I would like to see Coriel Kills.
I like Idris, but he said he doesn't want to come back.
He wasn't this isn't the game for him. Like he wasn't very vocal, he wasn't very strategic. He was just like, you throw me in, I'll do my best. So he didn't really give anything. I think it's too obvious. I don't think it's obvious. They're nowhere on the poster. So also Kaz and Theo are good. Okay, they're good friends now, so there won't be any drama. You all be on it. I have not been I haven't been on Twitter about this at all. I'm sorry, Dabu. I know you didn't call them that. I changed the names. See, when they were talking about Kayla, Jenna, and Nani, I called them the unholy trinity because I refuse to call them holy anything. And then when it comes to Kara's cult, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to call them Kara's crew. Like, we aren't going to shade my faves. Okay. Okay, so we got it. Anything else you want to add about World Championships?
Well, I guess just that I'm interested to see how it works, how the gameplay goes, if it's going to be like some kind of mixture in between the mainstay challenge and like the Challenge USA spinoff and the All-Star spinoff, which I think it will be. I'm interested to see the old returning players, the older returning players, like the people we've seen recently, but also the ones that haven't been on the show for a while, and the new crews from these recent
Mhm.
international challenges. I think it's a good new concept for us to see.
Me too. And we're going to see a lot of fresh faces. I'm really want to see Theo back because we haven't seen him in a while. I'm excited to see Naya because even though we saw her in All Stars, before that we hadn't seen her in a while. Um, Wes, we hadn't seen Wes. Well, I just like Wes. Other than that, I really don't care. It's everybody else is challenge overload. Like I really don't care about anybody else. But I love all of the USA people: Justine, Danny, Ben, Sarah Lucina. I want to see what they do. So I'm just excited to see how it plays out. So
So
anytime you want to come back and talk challenge world championship, you're welcome. Just let me know.
when does it start? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Mm. So Wednesday is Survivor,
However, the
Challenge World
challenge,
Championship.
it's about to be review overload for me because I do Love is Blind. Love is Blind is coming back in
Hmm.
a few weeks. Um, what else? The Queens of R&B, Escape, and SWV
Hmm.
starts tonight. I'm like, the new stuff coming out. So I'm gonna be talking a lot. But anytime you want to talk the challenge, Survivor, I do a it's either a Thursday or Friday night. It's called Ostella. And I talk about all the competition shows in one show instead of individual reviews.
Interesting. Yeah.
And we usually have a good time
Yeah.
in the chat, just great conversation about the shows. Why have you here? What do you think about episode 1 of Survivor 44?
Very interesting. Like there was so much action in that episode. I'm not good with their names at this moment, but yeah, I liked it. It had me on the edge of my seat. And the person who it seemed like was going out, she didn't even get a vote for her. The one that they all decided, I forgot her name, but they all decided, like, yeah, we're gonna get her. We're gonna get her. Which one?
Lauren, the one who went to
Yes.
the island with an advantage and had
Yes.
an advantage.
Like, we're
Yes.
gonna get Lauren out. Nobody voted for her to be out.
No, it was supposed to be Brandon. I'm happy Brandon played his idol. I'm very disappointed in the shots in the dark. I want to throw that whole thing in the trash. But Jamie, you wasted your shot in the dark. No one was thinking about voting for you.
Yeah.
And now this week, when they do vote for you,
You got a target. You got a
you don't
target
have
on your back.
to. Oh well, but yes, great episode. We got a lot of good competition shows coming out. We're going to have a good time. So, thank you all so much for watching. This is our cast assessment. We're excited to see it. We're hoping for Theo. Well, I'm hoping for a Theo win. I'm hoping for a Theo and Sarah win, but I will see how it all plays out. But I guess we will, or I'll see you all this week. It'll be Thursday because I think I have plans on Friday night. So Thursday night, I'll see you all for Ostella and we'll get into the show. We'll get into it. So, real quick, tell them again where they can find you on YouTube. Please support Marc on his new YouTube channel where he's doing all competition reality shows as well. Tell them which one it is again.
My new channel is called Mindful Reality, and I'm going to tell you how to spell that because the reality is not spelled like Reality. It's spelled Realitea, like T. Reality. Mindful Reality, all one word. And yes, I'm going to be talking about mainly Big Brother, Survivor, and what was the other one? The Challenge. How
The
did I
challenge.
forget the Challenge?
And real quick for you, Dan, let me tell you the name because she told it to me. If you all didn't watch on Angel Cake Entertainment this past weekend or just yesterday,
Yesterday, yeah.
I was on game night with Drew, Christina, and Jacob. We had a really good time. Christina, there's an app. She told it to me. I gotta find it in my DMs. It's called RTV Fantasy, and she gave me her group code. So I'm gonna play Challenge Fantasy with Christina on RTV Fantasy. So there's no draft picks here tonight. I'm gonna go over the app tonight, later on, download it on my phone and kind of draft my team. And maybe Monday night, Tuesday night, I might tell you all who I drafted via the app. So if you want to play along, anyone can play. You just kind of have to get your draft picks out there before the season starts. So we have Monday, Tuesday to get it done. RTV reality. So I didn't really do my draft picks here, but you kind of know who I want to pick on the draft. But I'm going to do it here and I'll update you all every week how I'm doing on the app with the fantasy. So that's where I'm doing my drafts, probably going forward. I'm going to check it out. if I really like it, I'm probably going to play all my reality fantasy stuff here because I really love fantasy football. So I love anything fantasy. So we'll see. But you all could play along too. And we can have a good time and talk about it together. So that's the answer to the question there. But again, I'll see you all Thursday night for Ostella. Please come back tonight at 6. I have Kitchen Table Talk with Blissfully Single Bean, and that's where we will talk about all of the reality show gossip and hot topics if you're interested in that. If not, we'll see you later. Have a good night, y'all. Bye.
Bye.